everyone? I hope everyone's doing well. So, it has been a very interesting couple of years, especially with Hollywood and, well, kind of the left in general since they lost the presidential election. I mean, you have to think from their point of view, this was an election that they could not lose. Like, they thought Donald Trump would never be elected president, that Hillary Clinton would be in, and it would just be easy going. Almost like a continuation of the Obama administration. And now we have, well, Joe Biden win by double digits compared to all the other candidates, which personally I find a little shocking, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe where you've worked close with Obama, maybe that gives you brownie points. I don't know. And the left seems so very, I don't want to say desperate, but they really want to see a continuation of the Obama administration, but this time on steroids. So, what has happened over the past few years? Well, we've had the Trump Russia collusion, Trump sexual scandals, just everything and anything you can think of, they have thrown it at him. And so far, everything they've thrown at the left, or the left has thrown at him, well, it's been nothing. It's been a nothing burger. Nothing's ever came from it. There's never been any hard evidence against anything. And when the Mueller report finally came out, it was just, well, let's see. First it came out and it said no Russian collusion. The left then demanded, like, we have to review every single bit, every paragraph, every sentence, every detail, every word. They did all that. They had the testimony. Once again, Trump came out clean. But one thing I've noticed lately, which I'll link some descriptions in the article here, but it seems like people are starting, well, it's like the left just doesn't want to win and force their ideology and politics down our throats now. It seems like now they want revenge. So a few celebrities and even a few of the presidential hopefuls, which one of the presidential hopefuls, the article, I discovered it. How much credibility that one has, I'm not too sure. So kind of take that one as maybe she said it, maybe she didn't. We don't know. But a lot of them are talking like, if they win, they're going to come after the Trump supporters. They're going to come after us, and, they're going to come after us so effing hard. And, they're going to round up all our guns. And some of them are even going saying that they should round us up in concentration camps so we can feel how the immigrants at the border are feeling. They sit there and saying that, when we get in power, we're going to just do all this radical stuff and blah, 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 blah. And as I said, I'll link some articles in the area that I found. And even Van Sciver from Comicsburg Secrets just did a video, I think it was a few days ago, that I just watched, that he was talking about the same thing. And as you know, if you watch him, he usually does comics and movies and entertainment. And, to see him come out and saying, hey, look, these people are saying this, they're freaking crazy. I mean, that shows you if he's doing something, that means something's up. And then you had the movie The Hunt that was supposed to come out, which was supposed to be about liberal elites hunting down deplorables or conservative Republican Trump supporters. I mean, it makes you wonder if the Democrats, or if the left in general, gets in power this next election, what exactly are they going to do? And here's the reality. If they go extreme, like if they go completely extreme, like, they say, that's it, there's no more guns, you're not allowed to have guns, they start pushing, like, hate speech laws to, like, 10 times maximum, and they just start opening the borders, which is things that they want to do. And, they want to give universal health care, not just to the citizenry, but to the immigrants as well, down at the border, who's never paid a dime in the United States tax. So, from their point of view, it's a free ride. It's like, hey, all I gotta do is cross into the border, and, I get all this free education, free healthcare, free this, free that. Hell, probably even free housing and cars at this point. And, if they get rid of the voter ID laws because they're racist, well, that means all they gotta do is just step in, and you'll have tons of illegal immigrants or migrants, whatever you want to call them at that point, they'll just start voting in our elections and start changing everything to fit their needs instead of the needs of the nation and this actual citizenry. But of course, if the left opens the border, that really narrows the line of what is a citizen, at that point. But the reality is, as I was trying to get to, if all this happens, I don't see a lot of conservatives or even Democrats even that are kind of seeing what the Democrat Party is becoming and going, we don't really like this. I don't see them standing by, especially if they do go extreme and start rounding up all the guns and then rounding up people going, oh, you're a Trump supporter, therefore you're a Nazi. Let's see how you like getting round up. Well, that's a good way to start a war, or at least start a lot of conflicts. Look, they say that with all the shootings, it's always been the right. The right's been doing this, the right's been doing that, they've been radicalized about the right. And as I said before in other videos, the left can radicalize people as too. The left is just as responsible for some shootings as the right is. And if the left truly does go down this extreme, if they win the presidential election, well, I mean, what do they expect to happen? Especially when you'll have a lot more people who will radicalize themselves, like Antifa, for example. Oh, they'll be right up on this. I mean, for them, this will be like a golden age for them. It's like, oh, look, the government has given us permission to actually beat up Trump supporters because they're Nazis. They'll start, going to the extremes. Now, look, I understand all this probably sounds hypothetical, conspiracy theorists, and a lot of you are probably just like, well, you're just being stupid, man. That ain't gonna happen. It's not the fact that whether it will happen or not, it's the fact that people are talking about this, talking about doing this, thinking about doing this. I mean, you have to think, even if Donald Trump wins the next election, we still have 4 years. After that, well, it's anyone's guess who can win. If the Democrats are patient enough and actually, discover their identity again, because as I'm sure some of y'all know, the Democrats are having some form of an identity crisis. Like, they don't know what they want to go. Do they want to be the moderate Democrats, or do they want to go to the extreme far left Democrats, which a lot of them has been pushing? And look, I know for a fact that there's a lot of citizens who, they don't like Trump. They don't like Trump and they don't like Trump supporters, but a lot of them are probably like, well, just because I hate him, it doesn't mean I don't want to go out and see them round up and put in detention centers, concentration camps, or even re-education camps. I mean, you just have to think about this. And there's also a lot of Democrats who love their guns. They love their rights. And they're like, well, hold on. You're taking away my individual rights to defend myself. And you're also saying that anything that goes against you is hate speech, because that's what's going on. Anyone who's been watching what's going on YouTube, they know you have their copyright system and hate speech policies are so damn corrupt that people are scamming these people to death, getting money off them over using their system against them. I mean, think about this, folks. Just think about it. We have people who are allies of the left openly coming out and saying that they are prepared and they are willing to get revenge. They want blood for all the, for not letting them win the election, I guess. And, there's the cases of possible voter fraud going on right now. And think about the elections last year for the House and Congress. You had some areas that were, the Republicans won. But then all of a sudden, the Democrats demanded a recount, and there was all of a sudden thousands upon thousands of votes magically for them. Look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I try not to be, but at the same time, I'm also looking at this, looking what happened last year, looking what these people are saying now. Excuse me. Sorry, folks. I said, looking at what happened last year, looking at what people are doing now, and then looking at what these people are saying, and the presidential election is next year, I honestly believe that the Democrats, or just the left, they are going to do anything and everything between bribing, cheating, threatening. They're going to do every tactic they can to re win not just the White House, but secure control of the House, get control of the Senate, and go for the White House. I mean, they will go full fledged war mode essentially. And here's reality: if they win, we know what's going to happen. Now, some of y'all might be sitting there thinking, well, that's a great idea. Gun control, free Medicare, free education, free this, free that. Yeah, but folks, they also want to open the border, and it's not just the citizenry who they're promising this stuff. They're promising, the non-citizens this stuff as well. And who do you think is going to pay for it? Now, y'all can sit there and say, but the migrants, they can get jobs, and then they'll start paying into it. Yeah, but at the same time, why would they? Especially if they're getting like free government housing and government transportation and everything else. Why would they? They got it made. They wouldn't have to work because they're receiving a government pension just for being in the nation. The left, in my opinion, is in full-fledged war mode. And I would like to say I don't think the government will go so tyrannical to start rounding up people. I would like to say that the military would hopefully step in at that point and go, hold on, wait a minute, you're rounding up citizens, we're not going to stand for this. But at the same time, I just don't know, because if they put the right people in positions of power across the board where they need them, well, the army is basically going to have their hands tied. As I know that all sounds really extreme, but it's just something to think about. I'll put some links in the description of the more, well, these are just a few cases what's going on, but it seems a lot of people are echoing these thoughts. Anyway, guys, I'll see y'all later.